I don't take this lightly. I don't expect it. I I know that what you guys are doing and everybody on here is you're on your track, you're on your mission, you're starting off your story right now, and I'm privileged, to and humbled to be able to share a little piece of mine and share that with Easton because I remember when Easton started in the business, and at that point in time there was like I don't know maybe one person had a Zoom room that could fit over like 30 people because we didn't have the budget to get the one that like could do 100. I'm just being real. Like, so like we had we had a Zoom room and Easton would hop in, right? And like and we've always been like who cares who your upline is and things like that. So like I tell you guys this right now, it's like on this training that if we're going through this and you're like, you know what? Like, man, I want to reach out to him. I want to shoot him. Dude, I'm open. Like, it's all good. Makes sense. Like, we don't do this to go like, oh, we're the magic. But I do know there's things that when I started, like this guy Mike Betancourt, you have no clue who he is. He's actually getting his license again. He's coming back. But Sean hired this guy, and Sean was telling me things and telling me things, and it just wasn't clicking. You know what I mean? Just wasn't clicking. And then Mike said some of this stuff. And it was like the same stuff as Sean was saying, but Mike said it. And when Mike said it, I was like, dude, that's a game changer. I'm killing this thing now. And then just went like this. So I'm telling you guys all this to let you know that like whoever brought you in this business, they're not the end all be all. Okay. And a lot of the times you're a lot closer to them than the next person. So it's one of those things to where don't be afraid to reach out to people and ask them questions. And even though it may be the same question you ask somebody else, you're probably going to get the same answer, but you're going to hear it differently. And I think as we were growing Easton together, we had some of those moments of like, dude, Wetmore said that to me. Makes sense? But you know what, dude, or Zach said that, but dude, now it's like, okay. And when you hear things two or three times from different folks all over the country, you start to go, all right, maybe, all right, cool. Let me just do it. Makes sense? So this this business in sales wise, and what I love about you guys so much is that you guys sell the hell out of insurance. You know, there's some companies I like they sell a little bit and recruit a lot. Like I'm all about like let's do both. But if we're gonna err on one, let's sell a ton. Okay. If we're gonna err on one, let's just sell a lot of insurance. All right. And that's kind of like where my business, has gotten to. And really, when you start looking at different things, people change and people move. And over the last 10 years, there's been a lot of changes as it pertains to industry, lead wise, availability, what people think they should have, what people got, what they're not willing to change. And the best thing about this business is when you control this, you control your business. And if you don't control this and you're relying on everybody else to have a business, that's when you really feel the roller coaster. You really feel it. All right. But we're going to talk about how do you stay on this roller coaster, but not feel it by selling 30 plus $1,000 a month. Is that a fair way to be for taking this next 30, 40 minutes? All right.
Yep. Like it.
Because one feeds the other. Okay. Now, if you're in a position where you're like, dude, I'm just taking care of myself. Well, dude, just do that. There's no problem at all. But the schedule and the commitment remains the same. The reason I chose to hire was because I lacked accountability as it pertained to my sales. So you're like, why'd you want to build a business? Because when it was all on me, dude, I'd be late to stuff. Like if it was all on me, I'd miss this training because there's nobody else in my downline to ask me, hey, dude, were you on that training too? Like I almost felt this sense of I have to do it now because I told somebody else to do it. And when I wasn't doing that, people would be like, I did it for overrides. I did it. No, 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 no. I did it so that I could sell more. I did it so that I could be honest with you. I want to hire comp too. So they're like, why'd you hire? I'm like, dude, they told me if I hired people, they'd have to give me a raise because I was at a 55. And they said, by default, you're going to have to go up to a 60. I said, well, what if they don't sell nothing? They said, well, you still got your comp. I said, well, shit, I am hiring everybody. And I wonder why sometimes people don't. Like, Easton, you got the same rule, right?
Yeah.
If you hire me, right, and I hire my buddy, are you going to put us both at the same comp?
Can't.
You,
You go up.
okay. So I saw that and I cheated immediately. I was like, all right, so like Sean, so if I hire his friend, I can get up to a 65 just like right off the rip. He goes, yeah, they just have to get a license and get contracted. He goes, if they don't get contracted, then you can't. So I was like, dude, I'm in. Dude, so I was trying to go deep like fast. You're like, go wide. I'm like, dude, go deep. Why don't you hire your cousin, his cousin, his cousin, his cousin? You're at 80% right now. They're like, wow, how'd that work? Dude, hey, Dom told you how to cheat the system. It's the greatest cheat code ever. Use it, okay? But the problem is I'll tell you the code, but you still have to put the work in to hire the people. Make sense? You still have to do it, but that's a fast, easy way to get your comp up. All right.
Well, dude, and
Um,
I want
yeah.
to 2 seconds with that.
Yep.
In the beginning, if the only reason that you want to learn how to sell and the only reason that you want to recruit is for selfish reasons, just do it. Even if it's just like, if you're that money focused early, like I'm only here for the money. Dude, if you bring people in while you're selling, you literally get paid more for doing those two things. So just learn how to sell and bring people in, your comp goes up, you get paid more. So if that's all that it's about early, that's not a bad reason to bring people in and perfect your craft. So I just wanted to add that,
dude, it's not. And at the end of the day, it holds you accountable. It's the biggest thing. And I can see from a guy's point of view, like we'll let ourselves down in a second, but we don't want to let nobody else down. Makes sense. Like I'm cool. Like when I was by myself, no big deal having a messy house. But when I got a roommate and stuff, I was like, nah, I can't do that to them. Makes sense. I can't leave those dishes there. Like I'll leave those dishes there for me, but for them, that's kind of messed up. So I kind of when I got in my business early on, I was like, dude, let's start that early. All right. So telesales. All right. I'm assuming everybody on here is doing telesales. Is that
yeah.
is that fair? Okay. I'm not against in-home sales. I love it. All right. Actually, I think that when you're starting off in telesales, you should have a telesales focus, but still buy local leads because you're almost losing, you're giving yourself not as good of a shot. Like if I take the in-home completely off the table, that's a big ass piece there that could pay my rent that month. Makes sense? That's that one app that really changes everything for me. And I don't want to take that off. So I do advise if you are just starting off in this and you don't just have money just to throw out all across the country, then focus on telesales. Like when I started telesales, and I did have money, but I was like, you know what? I just know that I want the option to go in the in-home. So I started running telesales in San Diego County. So I got all my leads here in San Diego County, all of them, San Diego, Riverside, and I focused on telesales. And if I got to a point to where they didn't want to give me certain information or whatnot, my out was I'll just come to your house because I wasn't that confident on the phone to handle the objections. And I said, screw it. I'm not opposed to just driving to the house. So I'll just do that. Okay. And that helped me a lot at the beginning of transitioning into telesales because I didn't just like chalk it up. There's a lot of chalking up you're going to have to do with telesales. And if you ain't got the cash flow to chalk it up, you better give yourself an option to drive to their house. Can I get an amen in the chats? All right. I need that. All right. Because this is big stuff. All right. This is definitely it's going to change the way that you're looking at your business. And if I'm only looking at, damn, I got these leads in Virginia and I'm in freaking New Mexico, well, freaking good luck, Tonto. Like how excited, like what's your other option other than buy more leads? Who likes that option all the damn time? Who likes the buy more leads option all the time? How about the get in your car and drive to their house option? Anybody want that one? I'll take it. I'll take that one, dude. Okay.
That was the saver early.
Dude, because I think about this, Easton, how many, like when I was in the field, I'd write 3 or 4 policies a week purely off door knocks. Those 3 or 4 policies a week off purely off door knocks took care of my lead bill. Okay. So now as I'm starting off in this business, I don't want to take that option away. Now today I get leads all over because I've tuned up. I have the cash to spend and things like that. But if you're starting off, don't take that off of your plate. All right. I wanted to start there. All right. Now scripts. All right. I highly advise with telesales. And if you're new, this is all you know. right? But I'm speaking to the person who may have come from the in-home, or you're transitioning from other in-person sales or whatnot. You really, really need a script, okay? And you need a script to keep you on track. Telesales, I'd get off track, man. I'm start talking about stupid stuff. I'll start getting the stuff before I get here. I end up pitching them something and realize, oh my God, I didn't even ask them their medical yet. Does that make sense? Because like they're just so you get lost. I get lost. Okay. The script keeps you in line. It makes sure that you don't do this before this. It makes sure that you're very clear with here's what we're going to do. And it gives you the structure. In person, you need structure in person, but you can kind of be kind of loose because who really wants you in their house for 2-3 hours? Make sense? Like you're gonna in person, you have this sense of like, okay, I got to get moving. Makes sense? On the phone, dude, they'll sit there for 30-40 minutes, and next thing you know, you realize they don't have a bank account, and you're like, damn, why didn't I ask them that? Well, because you didn't follow the script. So you're wasting all this time because in the script it says at the beginning, hey, we're going to need this, this, and this, just like a car dealership. But you said that's a little bit uncomfortable right then. One thing I'll tell you is this: waiting in telesales for the hard stuff never works. And I don't want to hear about the one time it did work. Okay. Waiting for the hard stuff doesn't work. In person, dude, I'm earning, I'm growing, I can wait. When I was in the in-home, I didn't walk in there and say, hey, I'm gonna need this, this, and this, just like a car dealership. I didn't do that. That'd be weird. I'm in person. I can earn it. Does that make sense? But on the phone, you ain't got time to earn it. So you be straight up and down. Here's what we're gonna need, and see it and read them there. Read them right then and there. Does that make sense? Because when I wasn't doing that, Easton, and you helped me out with this, with that script, the script that I was using before didn't say that. And I'd spend a lot of time doing stuff that for nothing, and when I could have just asked him straight up front and saved a lot of time. So, and now to this day, I still have to check myself because sometimes I do kind of want to delay it. I do have the client that's kind of like, and I'm like, you know what, man, if I ask them right now, I don't want to ruin it. But the real deal is how I was talking to Bryce about this as well. I said, how many of your clients that you had to like that you were doing this kind of uphill fight with them and kind of like waited until the end to ask for banking or social and things like that, that it actually worked out for you? I look back on your book of business. He goes, yeah, like none of them. I was like, so why do we do that? So why, when they give us this little sense of like feeling like, oh, maybe this one's going to be a tougher one, like they're a little standoffish, why not just handle it right then and there? Like, hey, Easton, you seem a little timid or whatnot. Man, I'm going to ask you for your social, your banking. I'm going to ask you for all that. Now, I don't need it right now, but if we get there, we're going to need that. And how do I know they're about this? How do I know they're timid? They're saying things like, hey, Easton, today, I just want to get some prices and stuff. And then like, I'm going to probably call you back. Like they're trying to sell me on what they're going to do. How many of you guys deal with that or have dealt with that? That your first minute, 2 minutes, they're trying to sell you on what they're not going to do today. Okay.
Relentless.
Yeah, dude, it happens. You guys run final expense? You run vet leads? You run mortgage leads? That's normal. That's like that's in their DNA. That's what they're going to say. Makes sense? Like they're going to say that. So it's up to you to get them back in line. Okay. Okay, I hear you on that. Right? I hear you on that. You want to know how much it is? I'm going to get to how much it is. But first, I need to let you know what information we're going to need. All right. To help you out with that. Now, if you have any problem doing that, maybe we should end this right now. Well, I want to know how much it is. I know you want to know how much it is. And I'm going to get to that. But first, I'm going to ask you X, Y, and Z about you to make sure if this is even going to be a good fit, because there's a lot of folks I talk to, they don't even need this insurance. And when you start talking to people like that, to where it's like, dude, I'm going to try to talk to you to see if you even need it. I do mortgage protection sometimes, and I go, hey, just so you guys know, everybody doesn't need this. So I'm going to ask you a ton of questions, and like, you may not. I sold one this morning. Dude, it was a $73,000 home equity loan. They paid their house off and then took some money out. Okay. Their house was worth 200 grand. equity loan was 75 grand. I said, hey guys, to be real, y'all don't need this insurance. Like if you died yesterday, right, your house is worth way more than what you owe. You guys will be able to figure it out, just so you know. So if anybody tells you that you have to have this, they're full of crap and you guys are good. But now what you guys don't have is money that's easily transferred over tax-free because you don't have any life insurance. So if you do want to have tax-free money easily transferred over at something you can afford, that's where I can help you. But as it pertains to mortgage protection, you guys are good. And they go, well, we're listening. Sold them 2 policies, $10,000. Hers was $38, his was 62. Okay. But it came from a place of like, hey, just so you're like, because when you start to hype these things up too much, you almost scare people. Like when you act like what you have is special, it almost freaks them out. Actually, it does. And that's what I learned over the phone, is that these folks are talking to so many different people that really what sets you apart is you letting them know you're not special. Because everybody else is acting like they have something special. We have the lowest rates. I work with the best carriers. Blah, 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 blah. Do you have this? Does the VA give you this? I don't know, dude. I don't do any of the tricks. Now, if you were taught tricks and they work, keep doing them, dude. All right. I don't do tricks. They say, is it life insurance? I said, yes. They say, do I have to pay for this? I said, yes, it comes out of your bank account. Like, just be straight up with people and you'll be so surprised how they respond. Is this that state plan? Yeah, it's the one that the state approves that your rates never go up and the insurance starts immediately. Do they pay? No, they don't pay for nothing at all. You know that. Oh, okay. That's what I figured. Versus, do they pay for anything? Well, and you start talking down this stupid track of like, don't do that. And how do I know that? I did it before, you guys. It didn't work. Like, how do I know? You don't think I tried that? It don't work. Okay. It don't work. Be straight up and down with people. Here's what it is. Here's how it works. Okay. And I promise you, they receive it. All right. And graded policies. All right. You guys do a lot of final expense, right? Graded policies. One thing I'll tell you is that when you're talking to people, people shop around. Okay. Our clients know what a graded policy is. They know that. And the client that you get on the phone with and they go, is this one have one of those waiting periods? Ask them right away, is that what you're looking for? Don't say yes. Don't say no. You're going to put yourself in a spot. Okay. Is this one of those with those waiting periods? Is that what you're looking for? No, I want one that doesn't have a waiting period. Okay. Why is that? Now, what they're going to tell me is because I applied for one. Okay. Just so you guys know, how'd they find this out? They applied for one. They got put in a 2-year waiting period. Okay. A lot will be, you can learn a lot about your client the more questions you ask them. And as a new agent, you are under the auspice that this Mary, 76 years old, this is her first rodeo doing this. Because it's your first appointment. You only been doing this 2 months, 3 months. Like, it's a big deal to you and it's new to you, but to her, she's been doing this since she was 50 years old. She's been getting these things in the mail and now it's transferred over to Facebook now. Make sense? Like she's been getting these things forever. She's a Hall of Famer as it pertains to filling out forms. Okay. But you don't understand that. You're still thinking, oh, this is new. But when you start walking into these appointments and these presentations, not just assumptive that they want the insurance, because I think that's one thing we always teach in all trainings, be assumptive, right? But be assumptive that they've done this before. This is going to take you to the next freaking level. Okay. I mean, error on the side that they just talked to somebody about this. Error on that. So if I'm talking to Easton, hey, Easton, hey, man, you saw us on Facebook about the final expense thing. I know you've seen these videos, dude. The algorithm does not make mistakes. All right. You've been seeing this ad or ads like it every day for how long?
3 months.
Easton's going to tell me. When I'm very assumptive, Easton tells me the truth. But if I just act like I'm just reading this script and it's brand new, Easton's going to play me. Is this making sense to folks?
Money.
This is the market we're in. See, this isn't the IUL market. IUL market, a little different, right? You may be the first person they talk to. You very well might be. All right. But final expense, ain't no way in hell you the first person they talk to. Ain't no way in hell. And if they try to tell you that they are, double down on it. Double down. Am I the first person you talk to about this? Yeah. Like for real? Like for real? Like you just fill stuff out, give your number, and pick up the phone. Like this is the first, like really? Wow. Okay. Well, you just must really, you just start talking about life insurance to your phone or talking to other people because these don't come up on accident. Well, actually, you know what? I talked to somebody last week, but I told them to call me back and they never call me back. And oh, why'd you tell them to call you back? Well, it was just a little bit too expensive. Oh, so you got a quote. Like you'd be so surprised that you're like, oh shit, like you already did this. Yes, I already did this. Okay, why didn't you make a decision? See, our scripts are great, right? But be clear, if you walk into this thing assumptive, you can ask them questions that aren't on that script that will allow you to actually go through the script appropriately. It makes sense because sometimes you start asking them questions that they already went through. They know this. And that takes me back to the graded thing is when the client is going, hey, is this one of those policies that's graded, right? Yeah, or waiting period. Yeah, is that what you're looking for? No, I need something. Okay, cool. And they tell you all this. Explain that graded policy or that waiting period policy like it's a high interest savings account. Okay. I don't tell clients that, hey, you got 2 years to wait. There's a 2-year waiting period. So if a client tells me, hey, I got cancer, X, Y, and Z, I go, hey, cool thing about this insurance is most insurances, like they're going to decline you. You know that, right? You've probably been declined and things. I just assume it. Assume. Okay. So right when they go, I got cancer, I got congestive heart failure. I don't tell them, hey, this is what you can. I say, hey, so you've been declined before. I know you have. All right. And you've been declined. And the great thing is we ain't going to decline you. We got a product for you that you're not going to get rated up. You don't have to pay more for it. All right. They give you 10% interest the first 2 years. So Lord forbid you passed away the first 2 years, your family gets what you played plus 10%. How much you getting at the bank if you put that money in the bank? Shit, less than 1%, not even. Great. So we're killing the bank by like 9.9%. Fair to say? Sweet. So that's how this is going to work. $48 starting off, $48 forever. First 2 years, 10% interest to your family. After that, full death benefit. Sound good? Sounds great. Sounds a lot better than, well, this one here, you got to wait 2 years to die. And that doesn't sound good at all. And I'm not excited about that. And so hopefully that helps you, all right? Because we're in this market to where you need to separate yourself. And if you're losing sales because, and I've heard this a lot on live dials, they didn't want a graded policy. Well, no, they didn't want it because of the way you explained it to them. You explained it to them like they shouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it either if you said it like that. You with me? I picked this up from this guy, Chris, over the summer. Now, this isn't something that's been in my bag forever. Now, you can say it with, hey, 2-year wait and things like that with confidence, but I like the 10% interest, 2 years, and don't tell people what they can't get. Only tell people what they can. And if they ask about, oh, well, I thought there was one that was immediate death. Oh, yeah, did they say they're immediate death? But be clear, I've been doing this 13 years. A lot of folks who die within the first 2 years, these insurance companies, they contest the hell out of it. Anyways, just so you know, like they're gonna find a reason not to pay. Like like when you're at the casino and they try to look at the cameras to make sure that like, oh, did you really? Yeah, they're gonna try to find a way not to pay your jackpot, and that's how insurance companies are. So all insurance policies the first 2 years are pretty much like this. I'm just being straight up with you about it, and they go, oh, okay, great. Versus they got something less than. You with me? This is big for this market. All right. This market, they don't want to feel second class. They've been treated second class their whole life. So when they meet you, you have to present what they can get. Like it's the best thing that they can get. Because it is. So I know I'm kind of all over the place right now to do so. Line me back up.
No, okay. So let's touch on a couple of these things that you said, because there's a lot of stuff that will mess your bank account up in a phenomenal way if you can start implementing this. The hesitation at the beginning, if dude, you can feel it on the phone, especially as you get more reps. Like, dude, you can always tell if they're being weird, they're giving short yes answers. They're like, oh yeah, whatever, sounds good. Just address it. It's the Wetmore rule of law. If you're already not selling, do something else. Like what you're doing, you faking like you're going to get a sale at the end to get a rejection is already getting you no sales. So why not just like, hey, if they're going to be weird in the beginning, just talk to them about it. Like, you're already going to get a no or a think about it, or you're like, yep, knew it, can't afford it. I knew this was going to happen. And then you're out. So if they're being weird at the beginning, dude, you basically touched on giving this illusion of control, which is literally sales 101, is all of the power is in the client's hands. Like, you're disconnecting yourself from any sales stuff the entire time that you're walking them through this practice, this appointment, by having good questions. And you'll get better at questions the more that you do it. That did used to piss me off a lot when they're like, dude, you just got to ask better questions. I'm like what? Got any questions I can ask? Dude, if you're dead, who's in charge tomorrow? Just start there. And then give me information on the person in charge if you're dead. It's a kid? Awesome. Where do they live? What do they do for work? Do they got a family? A couple, just like be real and present. If nothing else on that script, you were talking about the script for a reason. Yes, it's going to sound like you're reading it. Dude, at least you're reading the correct words in the right order. Like, you'll get better at the conversational part of these appointments once you have this locked down and it's a little bit more muscle memory. But if you're just shooting from the hip, bouncing all over the place, and you have complete loss of control for the entire appointment, that is definitely not going to work. Even if it's not great and slightly robotic, at least you're reading the right stuff in the right order because you have a script to watch. Everybody has done this before that's over 65, dude. Everybody.
Yes.
And the number one question that you have got to ask is, why didn't you do it before?
Yeah.
Because guess what? They did not do it before because they did not want to pay. Or the agent went too fast and they don't trust them. But most likely it's because they don't want to pay. So you're 72 and you're saying you've never done this? Well, blah, 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 excuse. And then, all right, so was it a health issue or was it like a big price thing? What did you not take action at 72 last week? Like, why didn't you do it before?
Right.
Like, dude, this is such important information. So this is why I'm glad I had you on here, dude. Why didn't you do it before? Ask questions. If you're doing something that's not working and not addressing problems early, like you're losing control and you lose. So don't hesitate to ask. And then why didn't they do it? Because if a client tells you the word graded on the phone, dude, they've probably done this 30 times.
Correct.
If they say that word to you, they don't have a license, which means agents are like, oh, graded, graded, graded. They're not saying, dude, it's the sickest thing ever. Like, you literally get a 10% return on all your money for 2 years, and then you're live just like any other policy after that. It's sick. That is how you close a graded / high risk client. All right. I just wanted to break those down because that stuff is so freaking important, dude. It was killer. That was really good stuff.
Dude, the why didn't you do it? I think there's so much that could be, like, you're talking about asking questions, right? I think you should practice this type of stuff, right? Like, I think as it pertains to asking questions, think about where your end game is. Okay. Like, where are you trying to get to? Okay. And all your questions should be leading you there. Okay. So if I'm asking Easton, so let's just role play, dude. All right. So, Easton, you saw us on Facebook, and I'm sure this isn't the first time you've seen one of these videos or whatnot. You talked to other people before this?
Yeah, I talked to some guy a couple weeks ago, a little bit.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Why didn't you take care of it?
Well, he had some pretty outlandish costs, and I'm not paying that.
Okay. All right. So did he show you different options or just showed you one option?
Just one.
Just one. Okay. That's odd. Did you ask him to show you anything less?
No.
You did not. Okay. Did you know you could ask him to do less?
No.
You didn't. All right. Sometimes agents, and that's okay. All right. But I'm going to show you something today that's definitely not going to be outlandish and out of your budget. Okay. Because the only good insurance is the one that you can pay for. All right. But if you keep getting quotes and not taking care of insurance, who's that going to help?
Nobody.
Nobody. So by the end of this conversation, I need to find something that one fits your budget, two that you completely understand, and one that's taking care of your beneficiary tax free. Can we agree with all three of those things today, Easton?
Sounds like a plan.
Cool. Let's proceed. But if I don't do that and I proceed, I'm screwed. Because now he's going to tell me the same thing. That's just too much. But I have to identify that right now. And be clear, you'd be like, really? The other agent? I just had one like 4 days ago. Same damn thing happened. Showed him 20 grand. And he goes, yeah, that's all they showed me. And in my mind, I'm like, for real? Like, is that really like in my mind? Because even as a new agent, I never just stayed there. Like, I was the cheapest agent ever. I was trying to get him down to like 2,000 for $2.27. Like, I was all about dropping it down. So when I heard people weren't dropping, I was like, huh. But on the flip side here's two sides of this too. Sometimes clients just aren't comfortable enough, but probably the agent did. But by that time, he just shut him down. He wasn't even listening no more. Makes sense? So let me see. What's this question here? Brandon has. Do you have your script? Yeah, it's the same one that Easton has. I got it from Easton. This is the one. This is the script. Internet Life Lead Script 1.
I'll get that to you, dude. I got
Yep.
you.
So look, hey, I'm training on it, but I didn't create it. All right. But dude, it's helped me out. One piece that, man, I'm sure Easton, you've trained on this, talked about this, but it changed my career as it pertains to this stuff. Is my job is to take care of the minimum amount of insurance. If y'all ain't saying that during your presentation, you're missing it. You're missing it. I was missing that for 12 years before I got it. All right. But then when I heard it, I was like, oh, shoot. I go, hey, guys, Easton, my job today is to take care of the minimum amount of insurance to make sure that your family is taken care of. All right. Anything you want on top of that, all good. You tell me where to go from there. All right. But my job is to take care of the minimum. Dude, I use that for final expense. I use that for mortgage. I use that for everything, dude. I use that for IUL. My job is to get you the minimum amount to help you hit your retirement goals. Boy, that is freaking amazing. Put that in there, you guys. But I got that from you, dude. That from this script, that minimum. I was like, wow, this is good. Because what it lets people do is in sales, a lot of times people are trying to get them the most because it's commission based. But when that minimum word goes a long way. I don't know why, but it has some effect on me personally as I'm saying it. And I'm seeing the reactions from the clients that they're appreciative. And a lot of the times they go, you know what? I appreciate that, but can I see some more? And I'm like, hell yeah, you can. Hell yeah. But I feel like if I would have started right there, maybe they wouldn't have said that. I don't know. So.
Well, dude, if you shell shock somebody, which this is why the telesales transition, we fixed it, was like we top down sold forever. And now when you're presenting on the phone, dude, if you squeeze that first number out and they're like, this is a wild price, I'm out. You don't even give yourself a chance to go down the 2 levels that you have written down, and you're like so excited to share with them.
Think about that, dude.
But we do minimum option. All right, so carrier came back with this as a minimum. Their base recommendation looks like it's 10, 15, and then like 20, and then they'll let you go north or south however you want. So your 10 is X. Dude, we made that change to go minimum, and then you could get a middle or an up, and then you can go up as high as you want from there. We don't care. 10, 100 million, 10 million, all good with us. We're a minimum company. We just want to make sure you have some instead of none, so they have some help instead of none. How does that sound? They get fired up, dude. They're pumped.
It's true. They are really fired up. And these are those moments that you trial close. Anytime you're saying my job is the minimum and they respond, that's a trial close. If you get past that, and if you're not, and that's what I've learned. I was like, dude, these scripts, when followed, they give you all of these different places that gives you the green light to, okay, it's okay to keep going. It's okay to keep going, and I love it, dude. I love it. The structure, this part here, after we find the company, you will build your own plan and you want to the penny. I like that as well. All right. You don't want your clients to feel like this is a how much it is type of thing. I want my clients, and IULs really helped me out with this as well, because I still feel like I'm building the programs with them now. I feel like I'm building programs better now with mortgage final expense because I started building with IULs. And I started really realizing that like this isn't it's a sell if you make it a sell. It's a service if you make it a service. Makes sense? And it's like I want to stay on the service end of this. So as I'm talking to them and you go through this after we find the company, you will build your own plan, how you want down to the penny. And from there, I just need your request to I just send your request to the insurance to make sure you get the green light and get approved. Sound easy enough? That part right there, that sound easy enough. I hear people say this and don't say the sound easy enough part. This is the trial close. This is where you need, it's uncomfortable. And the reason I hear people skip it is because I know it's uncomfortable and they don't want to get rejection at this point in time. So they kind of just mumble over it. So they kind of go, yeah, to make sure you get the green light and get approved. Sound good? All right, cool. And then they just keep rolling. Versus, hey, after we find the company, down to the make sure you get the green light and get approved. That sound easy enough, Easton? Wait for a response.
Easy.
Yep. No. And if they give some kind of like, yeah, I guess. Well, no. Like, does that sound hard or does it sound easy? I need to know. No, it sounds easy. All right, cool. Just want to make sure. This is where you can really address things that you can be like, all right, this is a no close. I'm only on the phone for 15 minutes. I address it and now I'm closing versus I don't really respond to that. I kind of just take that half kind of response, or I don't really ask the question as clear as I need to. That's when you get to the end and you wonder, why aren't they giving me this information? Why are they telling me this? Or why, dude, because you never really asked them these. You said it and didn't really get a response. And I had to practice that. And everything I'm talking to you guys about right now is stuff that I still make mistakes on, stuff that I'm still working on. And the only reason I can talk to you with more confidence now is because I've worked through it. Okay. That's it. That's the only reason why. But 4 months ago, dude, I'm in the same spot going, oh shit. Like, do I got to say that there? I don't know, dude. I don't want to lose it too early if I tell them about their bank account. Oh, no. I had to stop psyching myself out and go, you know what? Be straight up, be straightforward, follow the script, say exactly what it says. And the more you do it with confidence, the more you'll be able to come off of it and have those human conversations. But this is going to allow you to stay back on. Like, imagine your presentation as like you're on a train track, right? If you stayed on the train track the whole time, it's very rare that somebody's going to be on the tracks with you the whole damn time, meaning the client. You know what I mean? Like, you do get that one that you're like, wow, everything just went great, right? But a lot of the times, dude, you're on the track and then you kind of come off the track a little bit, right? And it's about how far do you get off a track, which is what's going to dictate you getting back on track. Okay. And the script allows you to be able to get off the track and be human a little bit, but get back on track. Does that make sense? And when I found when I didn't have this script, I would get off track so far, dude, it would take it would take me a real work to get back on. And by then I lost it, so, but be able to get off and get on, get off and get on, because that's the human piece of this. All right. If I just call them up and it's just, hey, Easton, this is Don with the Benefit Center, yada, yada, yada. Is that correct? And I just reading. It's probably going to get really dry. All right. And at the beginning here, there's probably going to be some things there to where, I may hear a baby in the background. I don't just not say anything. Makes sense? Like, if y'all hear people in the background, like, that's like, don't be so locked in on your script that you forget to say, hey, is that a baby? You know what I mean? Or, hey, is that a lawnmower? You outside? Yeah, my husband's mowing the lawn. Damn, all right. So you ain't gonna tell him that he ain't good at it, right? Because that probably ain't good. Yeah, he loves that yard. I know he does. I love my yard. Little stupid stuff like that right off the rip. You're like, that's not in the script. I know. I'm a human. I know. You got to be able to like hear stuff. And like, just like when you're walking into the home, you got to be able to see, hey, they're a Tar Heels fan, not a State fan. Makes sense. They are, they were in the Army, not the Marines. Or their kid went to this elementary school and played this. And like, all these things are things that like you pay attention to, So now we're not in the home, so you don't have to pay attention to their house. But when you're on the phone, you got to hear stuff. You know what I mean? If they sound like they're in the car, don't let them tell you that they're in the car. You need to tell them that they're in the car. If I call you up, dude, and it sounds like you're in the car, dude, I'm going, yo, you driving right now? Yeah. All right, you got me on Bluetooth? Yeah. All right, cool. Is this like safe or like you need me to call you later? No, it's cool, dude. Versus that same guy. If I never said nothing, you know what that same guy's telling me? I'm driving. Now's not a good time. Oh, are y'all hearing me? This doesn't take skill. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. These are the things that are going to allow you to get more presentations. Because nobody on here has a lead problem. You have a presentation problem. You're not presenting to enough people. You know? So listen to those things. They're on the car. Boom, say it before they get there. There's kids in the background. Yo, it's kind of like, you got kids around you? Yeah. All right, this won't be long. It's cool. I got kids too. Don't worry. They almost probably think they're doing you a favor by telling you call them back later. But when they know that you don't give a crap, now they're like, shit, I don't give a crap either. Shit, these kids are here all damn day. Makes sense? So you got to be the one to say it's no big deal. Because they're going to tell you it's a big deal 100% of the time. All right? This is big stuff that's going to take you from the same number of pickups, but get you more presentations. I hated having this stack of people to call back. I hated it. So we had to figure out a way to, like, how do I get it the first time? You know, people sick on the phone, right? Want more presentations. Oh, I'm not feeling good. Great. I can't get what you got over the phone. So just grab a pen real quick and we'll knock this out quick. Dude, I had a lady throwing up on the phone, getting a final expense policy. And she says, can I call you back? I said, ma'am, you know you're never going to call me back. It took me 20 times to even get you to pick up the phone. So we're going to take care of this. All right. And you can just put me on speaker. She's on speaker, throwing up, getting me her banking and everything. And some people may hear that's a little pushy. No, when you know the odds of you getting back with one of these clients and how important the insurance is, you will never think what I did was wrong. You would never think it. You'd be like, wow, you actually know the numbers, and the odds of you getting back with her is very unlikely. And the odds of her dying are very likely, and she needs the insurance because she filled out the form. So am I more rude by just understanding that she's sick? I don't think so. I think you're the rude person for understanding that she's sick.
Well, it's direct humor and control, dude.
You know, it's one of those things, man. Like we have to care more about them than we think that they think about us. And that lady was super appreciative. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Versus, you know, I had a lady 3 weeks ago, and I actually put this on my Instagram. She was telling me she wants to talk to her son and things like that, right? And some folks might want to address other things, right? Like, oh, well, you know, what do you want to talk to them about? Or I'm like, hey, like, your sons are adults. This is for them. All right. And I'm a son myself. And if my mom called me up and said she was going to get insurance, you know what I'd tell her? I'd tell her, don't get it. Why? Not because I don't think she needs it, because I'm her son and I'm going to take care of my mom. So you're going to take care of your kids. And if you call your sons up, you're going to tell them, this is what I did and this is what I did for you guys. I'm not asking for permission. Dude, by the end of it, she's going, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. She called me yesterday because she just got approved. Called me yesterday. Thank you so much. My sons are crazy appreciative. And I asked her yesterday, I said, hey, if you would have called them up and asked them, what would they said? They're like, no, they told me to cancel it when I told them. And I go, yeah. And then what'd you say? She goes, well, I already got it and it's already on the way. And I said, then what'd they say? Right? And then she was like, well, then I told them about you and what you told me. And they were like, dude, they like you. I was like, dude, this is crazy. And I got an appointment with her son, not to get him insurance. I'm going to talk to him though, but Legacy Safeguard, because he wants to get on Legacy Safeguard now. Because I got her now without the Legacy Safeguard, she needs the insurance. But I think that was my trust thing. I think that was the big thing for her, that she could go to her son and go, I got this insurance with this guy, but he also helped me out with this. You with me? And yep. the with this part, the add-on, I believe is the real reason why she followed through and why the son didn't say, hey, cancel
it. Dude, it for sure is. And it's awesome to just like hear, like going through the learning curve. I think people want to rush the skill set development stuff, but like, dude, don't forget that we've been screwing this up like a long time. And like, respectfully, you got a head start on me, so you were technically screwing it up longer and first.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're talking about, hey, 3 months ago, this was new for me. You've been in the game like literally 13 years, yeah? Like you've been in it.
Yeah.
So don't be so unbelievably hard on yourself for like working through a learning curve. and don't be so egotistical that you can never learn anything again. It's like this weird little mesh, you know. You've got to be patient and diligent, but don't ever think that you got to. It's like, dude, you've got a huge business, you've sold a lot, like you've been one of the biggest, mentors to multiple people and in my career. So thinking about like the impact wave that you've had, and then you're like, yeah, 3 months ago, I started having to learn some more. Like that's a crazy thing to say. So there's always room for improvement forever. Like truly nobody ever becomes a master at this thing because there's so much shit that's always changing.
It's changing. And that's the thing. I tried to step into this with what I knew, and that didn't work. I had to go to that Ignite event, and I went to the national convention with an open mind, dude. That like, I'm not just coming here to train. I'm coming here to learn, and not just learn how to build a business. I've always been open to learn how to recruit and build a business. I kind of shut myself down on learning how to sell. Probably about 4 years into the business, 5 years in. Makes sense. Just because I was like, dude, I could sell, I could run circles. Like, what am I like? But it changed a lot. And I was like, this is not in telesales. You end up spending $5,000 on leads, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't make $5,000. This is a problem. Makes sense. And like, I have got to get better. I'm just over here. I'm a walking, not even walking. I'm a sitting quote machine right now because I ain't closing nothing. And I felt that way, but I was like, you know what, you have to change. And but being in groups like this, seeing people going to lock-ins, meeting with different people, that helps out a ton, But the biggest thing is just believing in yourself and knowing that. Don't forget that our clients, like they all filled out a request, like they want our help. And I can't get back to what sets you apart from everybody else. All right. I told her that, that lady, nothing about the insurance company and things like that. It was all about what I'm going to do for her, what I'm going to be there for her. My client this morning, same thing. She was saying, oh, I don't know about this and this. I sent her my licensing info again. I got another guy on the phone to validate what we had going on. But it wasn't about how good the insurance company was. It was about how real I am and what you're going to do. And anybody on here could say that. You could say, man, I've been doing this for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. All right. And I'm gonna work my butt off to make sure that you get what you need. And if I don't have the answer to something, I work with people who are going to have the answer for you. So it's not about, the confidence doesn't come from longevity. All right. It comes from just knowing that you are where you're supposed to be. And I think everybody on here needs to know that this is where you're supposed to be. All right. And the clients that you're calling, you're supposed to be helping them. All right. And the crap that they give you, you're supposed to be getting it because it's going to build you up. All right. You need that callus. If I tried to play baseball right now, my hands would bleed. And like, because dude, I haven't been in the cages. Like Easton, if you went out to go freaking pole vault, dude, your hands couldn't handle that. Make sense? Like you're like, oh, that's what I used to do. I know, dude, but your hands aren't the same no more. Makes sense? Like you gotta build that up. Now they're gonna hurt before they get stronger. And that's where you guys are. And that's where a lot of us is. And that's where I was as it pertains to telesales, IULs, that I had to say, all right, who cares what you know? Like Zach Twardowski says, don't rest on your laurels. And I was like, all right. At first I had to look up what laurels meant. And then I realized what he said. And then I was like, got it. I ain't gonna lie, Easton, he said that one day and I was like, the hell's that mean? And I Googled it. If y'all hear stuff that you don't know, do y'all Google it or do y'all just accept it that you don't know?
Oh, I absolutely Google it.
Dude, I don't accept stuff that I don't know. Like I just go, I don't ask them. And if I'm in a place to where I can ask, cool, whatever. I'll ask them. But dude, I figure that out. And now it's in my vocabulary. So get around smart people. All right. Get around smart people. Chat GBT, baby. Yeah, that's that new wave. I still got to get used to like using that type of stuff.
Well, hey, I want to make sure, can you guys all throw like a big thumbs up or some fire in this thing? Dude, this is one of the best calls we've had in a long time. Very, very good.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
I am going to get this uploaded to YouTube so you guys can dig into here and put it on repeat 10,000 times. That's literally how you get better. So dude, you're the man. Anything that you want to part with, we're super appreciative of your time. You're a freaking beast, huge part of, my life here at FFL. So I'm glad that you could join us today, dude.
Well, dude, right on, man. I appreciate you. And one thing I will say is just don't ever hesitate to reach out. And if there's a lock-in in your area, be there. You know what I mean? If there's things that if you're doubting whether you should be doing something, probably just do it. You know what I mean? Probably just do it. And just and believe in yourself and don't take weekends off. One thing in this telesales market, and I'll end with this, is that I've seen a lot of people doing way too many things on Saturday and Sunday. And and the longer you treat this like a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, the longer it will be. I just let you know that. So take your Saturdays and Sundays, and that will make it to where if you're in your 20s and your 30s, you'll have all your weekends. You will. Just not in your 20s. Just be okay with not having them. And if you're brand new in your business, and I don't care if you're 45, dude, your weekends, you got to have them. And your people around you, they got to know, hey, I know working weekends sucks because I can't be at your dance thing. I understand that. But if I make it, if I go to it, I won't have the money to put you in it in that same camp next year. Makes sense? So how about, like, I got to do this. I'm going to miss some stuff for a little bit. So that, I'm telling you, weekends will transform your business. They will transform your business, and you what it took somebody else a year to do, it will take you 6 months to do. And you'd be like, how? I'm like, dude, I work on Saturdays and Sundays when people are happy. You work Monday through Friday when people are pissed. Good for you. Like, I'm in sales, dude. Why would I only want to sell people Monday through Friday? That's the dumbest thing ever. Saturday and Sunday, people are happy. Friday night, people are drinking. I love it. So Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, tons of premium should be sold. Tons of it. Mm. And if your biggest days aren't Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we got to change something. Because those are my biggest days, even to this day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
They're always the biggest.
They're the biggest. All the time. And don't fight it. Don't fight it. Nothing you're gonna do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is more important than 3 or 4 or 5x in your money. I promise you that. Okay. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me, dude. And that's all I got, dude.
All right, dude. You're the man. Appreciate everybody getting on.
Good man, brother.
And I will see you soon, dude. Get you back out here.
All right, later. Peace out, you guys.
See you guys.